All right, all right. Hello, everyone. My name is Elite Pierre, founder of Favorite International. Give me a quick second. I'm getting everything set up to go live on all platforms. This is something a little different that I'm doing this time. Got to get better lighting set up. So my next goal is going to be to get the lighting improved at my desk for these presentations. So if y'all can see me, hopefully y'all can see me pretty good. All right, hold on. I wasn't live on Facebook yet. All right, we're live. I got 30 minutes to do this presentation because Facebook Live only gives me 30 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, I would turn the desk lights on. Yeah. Look, my wife is a genius. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm so glad I got her in my corner, y'all. I hope that helped. Next time, maybe I'll focus the camera that way. But ladies and gentlemen, my name is Elite Pierre, founder of Favorite International. I'm super excited. I'm super fired up about this webinar training series. I'm actually broadcasting live on the webinar. I'm broadcasting live on Facebook Live. I'm broadcasting live on Periscope. So ladies and gentlemen, technology is amazing. We got to take advantage of that. But again, I only got like 30 minutes, so I got to go quick. I'm going to get right into the information. I'm excited. Welcome to this week's webinar. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Personal branding is the topic. Man, if you missed last week, that's why I posted in the chat. Visit favoriteinternational.com. That's favoredintl.com. The podcast is on the homepage. You'll be able to actually catch last week's episode on the podcast. And shortly after this presentation, it'll be uploaded tonight. This presentation will be in a podcast format, so you can actually listen again on your phones, on your mobile devices, whatnot. So again, we're super excited, ladies and gentlemen. This week's topic is telling your story. So last week, let's do a quick recap. Last week, we talked about discovering your passion. All right, that's step one. Before we can even talk about building your brand, we got to talk about discovering your passion. What do you love to do? What are you good at? What are your strengths? Okay, I'm not going to go over that whole 30-minute presentation. You got to go back and listen to that. Favoriteinternational.com. But understand that once you discover what it is that you love to do, what it is that you're good at, what your passion is, now we can move on to step two, which is telling your story. All right, everybody loves to hear a good story. And now we're in a position, all right, Deborah says she can't hear. You can't hear? All right, my audio, you got to check your audio, Deborah, because my audio on the webinar is showing that it's feeding. All right, everybody said that they can hear. Everybody said that they can hear. All right, good. Let's keep going. All right, telling your story. Everybody loves to hear a good story. Everybody loves to hear a good story. So understanding your ability to tell your story is going to be key and vital to your success in the building a brand. There's a couple key points I'm going to give you tonight, so I really need you to take notes. Write this information down, telling your story. All right, so first thing we need to talk about is how. How are you going to tell your story? How are you going to reach the world? Understand that nowadays, like I said in the intro to the webinar, we don't need Hollywood. We don't need media platforms. We don't need ABC, NBC, CNN. We don't need television and traditional networks to get our story heard. You know, we don't have to be on someone's daytime talk show. We can do it with the internet, with social media. We can get discovered, ladies and gentlemen. This is our opportunity to get our word and get our story out there. What are you good at? So again, this is going to tap into what we talked about last week, because it's important that you understand what your strengths are. What are you good at? Because there's different ways that you can tell your story. Or you're going to do a video like this. Are you good in front of the camera talking to people? If you're not, maybe you're a writer. Maybe you can type your story and get your communication out, right? Maybe your audio, like you like to speak, or you're able to speak, but you're not cool with the camera. Like, I don't want to do the camera too much, but I can speak and record my voice and do a weekly, daily, podcast. All right. Maybe live events. I love live events, ladies and gentlemen. Live events, written, audio, video. You have to figure out, okay, what are you most comfortable with, right? And second, what are you the best at? What do you know how to do already? Like what could you jump right into today, tomorrow, this week, and start executing on getting your story told? Remember, we discovered your passion. Your passion is to sing. Your passion is to draw. Your passion is to paint. Your passion is to tell stories. Your passion is to build businesses. Your passion is to help people. Whatever your passion is, we discovered that last week, right? Or you're still working on finding your strengths and discovering your passion. That's okay. We can get started even while you're still discovering your passion, because it might shift. Imagine when we went to college and our first major wasn't our major when we actually graduated. You know, you had a major and a minor, and then now you're not even in the same field that you went to school for. That can happen here in business as well, ladies and gentlemen. So it's okay to get started before you have it all figured out. The best thing that I've learned about entrepreneurship is we figure it out as we go along, right? On-the-job learning is the best, especially as an entrepreneur. I would rather fail 1,000 times fast than fail 1,000 times really, really slow and not make any progress. I hope that makes sense to you. So again, what is your passion? What are your strengths? And what medium are you going to tell your story on? Hello on Periscope, I see you. What medium are you going to tell your story on? Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit, how I did it, or how I'm doing it rather. But y'all got to understand, you really want to leverage all mediums. You really want to leverage the video, the audio. You want to leverage the written. You want to leverage the live events. And we're going to get to that. But you have to have a starting point. You have to have where you're going to start the journey. And you got to start it where you're most familiar with, where you're most comfortable with, and then you branch out. But understand, if you can do stuff like this, if you can do video, ladies and gentlemen, understand, 2016, people love to watch movies. People love to watch videos. This is where the attention is. If you can do a video, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be the most powerful tool that you have to telling your story. All right. Video, video, video. All right. So let me tell you how I'm doing it. I'll use this webinar training series for an example. If you're shy, and I understand, we gotta build to that. That's what I'm saying. Your strength might not be video up front. We could work on that as we grow your confidence and as we build. Starting off, you might do audio, you might do written, type of a blog. Get a blog. Medium.com is one that I use, and I also use blogger.com. All right, those are the two blog systems that I use. Y'all can get that. Y'all can get that free stuff. And my website also has a blog, but I'm not using that yet. I just launched a website. All right, so the key is to produce a whole lot of content. If you can produce the most amount of content, you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to get discovered because you're going to be able to satisfy your audience. So there's two things you got to figure out. Number one, where are you most comfortable? What are your strengths? Where do you want to get started? And the second thing is, where is your audience? That's key right there, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot leave that out, because more importantly than how comfortable you are and how good you are at what you do is who your audience is and where they are. You're welcome, Shantae. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Everybody said thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So look, where is your audience? Y'all know I'm in love with Facebook. I'm like, Facebook is my wife says I'm addicted to Facebook. I love Facebook, y'all. But if my audience is not on Facebook, I need y'all to catch this. If my audience is not on Facebook, if you're not my audience, Facebook, then I need to analyze that. I need to assess that. And I may need to take my content where my audience is, because I have a purpose in what I'm doing. It's not about me and my comfort. Getting started, I got to kind of figure out where my strengths are and get a foundation. But I also need to be realistic and reach my audience where they are, meet people where they're at, right? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to everybody. So if my audience is on Snapchat, knock, 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 tap, 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 clap, clap, clap. If my audience in 2016, if all the attention with over like 10 million users, no, matter of fact, it's more than that. I can't hear you. Oh no. All right. Other people are saying they can hear me, Chelsea. So you got to check your audio. All right. So if I'm telling y'all, Snapchat is going to be huge in 2016, 17, and 18. Don't just think about right now, January 2016. Snapchat is an emerging platform, and we want to be where the attention is. We want to produce content and connect with people where the attention is. All right. She said true. So watch this. I hope that's a she. Sal, yes, that's a she. Okay, didn't mess it up. So make sure if your audience is on Snapchat, that's where you need to be. If your audience is on Instagram, that's where you need to be. If your audience is on Facebook, that's where you need to be. I believe everybody's on Facebook. Again, everybody's not on Facebook. I just think everybody's on Facebook because that's my crazy mentality. All right, cool. Chelsea, I'm glad you got the audio now. That's just my mindset. I just believe everybody's on Facebook. I know people at my job that don't have a Facebook at all, period, point blank. So it's like, how do I reach them? If I didn't work with them, how would I reach them? I got to discover different channels of where the audience is. All right. Appreciate that, Siobhan. All right. So watch this. Hello. Don't have Facebook. Look, there's a person on Periscope right now. Don't have Facebook. My point exactly. Old school. The audience is not just on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have no, I'm not mad at you. There's a lot of people in 2016 that's not on Facebook. What I would recommend to you, but I like Periscope. Hey, I'm broadcasting Facebook Live, which is kind of like a upgrade of Periscope, in my opinion. But definitely get on Facebook. That's what I would recommend to you, to get on Facebook. It's huge. It's big, especially if you are building a personal brand. You ain't got to get on there. And a lot of people say, old school. Here's what I've heard. I'm not on Facebook because it's all about drama. It's too much stuff. This, that, this, and that, this, and that. Why are the feds? The feds are watching. But hey, you can have minimal activity in your personal life and use Facebook as a leveraging tool to build your personal brand and actually raise awareness about you. Let me say this real quick before I move on. Facebook, it's crazy on Periscope. There's a lot of trolls on there. I don't like them. Okay, so Facebook right now, ladies and gentlemen, I've done my research. Facebook right now has the #1 return on investment, ladies and gentlemen, for advertisement. The targeting, the ad targeting is ridiculously amazing right now. There's nothing better. It's like the early ages of Google ads and banner ads. It's huge right now. You can target like specifically who you want to talk to, once you discover who your audience is, you can target your audience, like pinpoint, and it's going to cost you a little bit of money. This ain't free, but Facebook is free and it always will be. But if you're a business, then this is where Facebook makes its money at. So it has a whole lot of people who you can target and you can send your message to, right? We're talking about telling your story. You can tell your story to your specific audience, right? And only your audience is going to get it. That's what you're paying for. For example, people who are interested in personal branding in the United States, ages 30 to 40 years of age, females, right? Who have a 6-figure or more income, right? Who own a home, who use iPhones, right? I'm giving y'all an example. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there, some ideas out there, but you can literally target that specific on Facebook ads. Keep that in your back pocket for the future. You might not be ready for that now, but keep that in your back pocket. All right, so let's talk about producing content. I'm going to share an app, not an app, but I'm going to share a article in the webinar. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching me on Facebook, if you're watching me on Periscope, you have to get into the webinar because you're going to miss like some of the key stuff that I'm going to share that I can't share on Periscope and I can't share on Facebook. So it's vital that even though you got a chance to get this content, you have to go to workwiththepeers.com, go to workwiththepeers.com and register for the webinar so you can get the replay before I bump it up to the next webinar. All right, because you're going to be able to register for the next webinar if you're in the webinar now. It's huge, ladies and gentlemen. It's huge. All right, so I'm going to share an article that's going to kind of give you a guideline. I'm going to briefly talk about it, but you're not going to have the article unless you're in the webinar. So I want y'all to have the article on how you can actually produce a lot of content. Here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the key. First of all, like I said, video, audio, written, live events. These are just 4 examples of different ways that you can distribute your content, that you can tell your story. All right, I hope everybody's following that. So watch this. Again, I want to give you an example of how I'm doing this. I'm doing these webinars every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, this is broadcast directly into my Google. It's saved into my YouTube channel. I keep it private so people can't just go watch the content without me, knowing that they're participating, because I want to be able to engage with you. I don't want people to just stumble upon. That's a website, by the way. I don't want people to just stumble upon these webinars. This is content that I'm controlling. It's important to me. All right, and to my wife, we discussed this on how we're going to distribute it. Dope stuff. I appreciate that, Angel. So watch this. I capture the audio from this content. Every time I do a webinar, I pull the audio out. Uh-oh, something happened with the Facebook. All right, broadcast is gone. All right, I lost Facebook. I got Twitter. I still got the webinar. That's why y'all got to get into the webinar, because Facebook is not guaranteed. Twitter, Periscope might fall off too, so you never know. All right, so watch this. I take that audio, I upload it to my podcast. All right, so now I have 2 different formats. I have the video format and I have the audio format, right? And then I take a couple key points from the webinar and I take a picture and I type, one of the quotes or whatever over the picture, and I post that on Instagram and Facebook. I use a bunch of hashtags in Instagram so it can get discovered, because that's how you get discovered in Instagram, hashtags. If you're not using hashtags on Instagram, you're wasting your time. Discover the hashtags that are trending. If you put hashtag and start typing a few letters, Instagram will tell you what hashtags are trending and how many uses that hashtag has. So you want to hashtag a trending hashtag so your content can be discovered. That's one of the Instagram secrets. All right, just drop the major boulder on y'all with that one right there. All right, so also I posted on Facebook, I posted on Twitter, and it's just content that's going to kind of redirect and build awareness and build curiosity about this content that started with the webinar. It started with the training, right? This can happen in anything. You could be talking about beer, right? Let's say you did a 20-minute video on beer, right? You did a 20-minute video on beer. Now you did the same thing. You pulled the information, you pulled the audio and uploaded it into a podcast. So now the audio listeners, the people who drive time radio, the people who want to listen on their mobile devices, but they don't have really time to watch a video, they want to hear the information, or the people who attended the live presentation, but they want to hear it again to go back. You're welcome. You're definitely welcome. They want to go back and kind of listen to the content, because I know me personally, I like to listen to training 4 or 5 times over again to make sure I get it and I get it good. I want to lock it into memory. I don't want to just skim over it, right? I want to remember it. I want to be able to actually execute on it. All right, so that's me personally. All right, so you're talking about beer. You did a video on beer. You pulled the audio. You broadcasted a podcast on beer. Now you took a quote that you said in the podcast, and you took a picture, a free picture. And matter of fact, those of you who pre-register for the next webinar, I'm gonna give y'all a free tool. I'm gonna give y'all some tools on how to get some photos, some royalty-free photos, real high quality that you can use for building your content. Work with the Pierres.com. It's not, this webinar is still live right now. So if you go there and register, just make sure you click to auto register for the next webinar. Everybody who registers today is going to get a free gift from Elite Pierre, Favorite International, on how you can get some free photos that you can use for your content, built for developing your content. All right, that's my gift to y'all. So make sure y'all take advantage of that. Register for next week's webinar. That's how you're going to get it. I'll talk more about that shortly. All right, so you published it on social media. You published it on Facebook. You published it on Instagram. Maybe dropped it in Twitter. All right. Awesome sauce. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate y'all support. So now you're also building more distribution. Now watch this. Here's another one. Watch this. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Blog. Watch this. Here we go. Brace yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you take the information and this takes time, y'all. It's going to take time. This is not a fly by night, process. This is something that's going to take you some time to develop and do and master. So you're going to blog, you know, like a highlight of your webinar, a highlight of your podcast. Type it up, turn it into an article, publish that joint on medium.com, publish it, and that's free, y'all. Medium.com. You got to get there. If you're going to do this, you got to get there. Medium.com. Publish it on get a blogger account. Get a blogger account. You know, if you own a website that has a free blog, you know, a blogging feature to it, start blogging your content. Because again, some people don't like to watch videos. We got old school people, you know, they're not really into Facebook, but they like to read. They'll read articles, they'll read blogs, right? Blog that joint with a backlink to the podcast, or backlink to your website, which hosts the podcast, and a link to get the video. You see how this is working? So you're distributing your content in a mass form, right? You're distributing your content in a mass form. So let me pop up this offer real quick to get the article into the webinar. Those of you who are watching the webinar, if you're not in a webinar, workwiththepeers.com. Very powerful article. Visit this article and read it. I'm gonna give y'all a couple key points that's in there. Determining which platforms your brand should be on. Okay, so we discovered our passion. We're about to tell our story. Your story is not just you. I'm gonna need your help because I'm old school lady. Hey, I'm here to help you. You can connect with me on favorinternational.com, and you can connect with me on all my social medias. Hit me up on Facebook. I'm definitely here to help. That's why we doing stuff like this, so I can connect with y'all and help y'all build a brand. All right, so watch this. You discovered your passion. You're ready to start telling your story. Understand that your story is not just your story, like where you came from and where you've been and how you grew up and your family and all that stuff. That's the foundation. But when we talk about telling your story, we're talking about you talking about what it is you love to do, what it is your interest is, what it is your passion is, what it is your strengths are, right? For example, if you're into beer, if you're into wine, if you're into baseball, if you're into Pokemon cards, if Pokemon cards is your passion and you just love Pokemon cards, you're going to do videos, you're going to do audio, you're going to blog about Pokemon cards, you're going to tell the world all about Pokemon cards, and you're going to study and get more content about Pokemon cards regularly so you can keep providing more value to your audience. I hope this makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, because this is where it starts. All right. So where's your audience at? Determining which platforms your brand should be on is step one. All right. How do you do that? Two things you have to consider. Like I said, where's your audience? Where's your audience, and how are you going to talk to them? Are you going to talk to them video, audio, written? Are you going to do live events? Y'all know I love live events. I love live events. You know, I'm a public speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker. So live events is like, how can I make money on here? That's another story. That, you know, we can connect later on. Connect with me, favorinternational.com. That's INTL. And then you can get on my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, all that stuff. All right. But we could talk more about that. Follow them there. Absolutely. Follow me and I'll be able to connect with you. We could talk more one-on-one. I'm doing one-on-one sessions, y'all. This is just, you know, kind of reach out into the masses, but I want to help people one-on-one because this is an overview. Just make sure you subscribe to my webinar series at workwiththepeers.com, and you'll be able to stay connected with this training right here. All right. So two things you got to consider on what platforms. Where's your audience? I already talked about that. How do you talk to them there? This is all in the article. I'm just giving y'all a quick overview of the article. Number two, respect the platform and respect the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are jacking this up. I can't think of a better way to put it. A lot of people are disrespecting the platforms. Facebook, they're disrespecting it. Twitter, they're disrespecting it. Snapchat, they're disrespecting it. These are powerful tools to reach an audience if you respect it and if you respect the audience that's there, the people that are there and why they're there. You know what I mean? The easiest way to sell something is to not sell something. I'm gonna say that again. Y'all might have missed it. The easiest way to sell something is to not sell something. Is to give as much away. Give my mentor. This whole training is based off the training of Gary Vaynerchuk. Right? Follow him. Look him up. Definitely good content. amazing content. This is where all this comes from. All right. Jab, 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 right hook is his book. He did a book on how to market in this day and age, 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20. All right. Jab, 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 right hook. What that stands for is give, 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 and then ask. If I just come out the gate asking you to buy my book, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably not going to buy my book. But if I give you content, if I give you value, if I help you, if I do for you, if I support you, then I ask you to buy my book, you're more likely to buy it. Why? Because now you feel like, hey, the least I can do after all he did for me is to support what he's doing, right? I mean, this is just human nature, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to respect the platform. You got to respect the audience. Understand and learn the platforms. Learn what people's purpose is when reading blogs. Understand what people's purpose are when they go to YouTube. Understand what people's purpose is when they go on Facebook or when they go on Twitter or when they go to Instagram. All right, number 3, understand what's doable. Some things are doable, some things are not doable yet, but anything is possible. Anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. And things like Instagram and Snapchat, these are huge platforms that are still emerging. They're still growing. Just last year, Instagram, opened up the capability for you to run advertisements. I've already ran successful ads on Instagram. I'm gonna let y'all know, Elite Pierre, I've already ran successful ads on Instagram, and some of y'all might not even know that you can run advertisements on Instagram by way of Facebook. When I run my Facebook ads, I can include Instagram in that advertisement. And the advertisement runs simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram, and it gives me analytics of where the leads and the feedback came from, whether it was Facebook or Instagram, and what photo had the most views and the most engagement. Powerful tools, y'all. Powerful tools. Understanding that the sky's the limit. All right, you have to, and just like I just said that I did, you have to evaluate the content for effectiveness. If it's not effective, you got to understand where you need to shift gears. If it is effective, you got to understand where you need to shift gears and put all of your eggs, I don't want to say put all your eggs in one basket, but put more of your time and your effort and your energy into what's working and not focusing on so much on what's not working. This is what I'm going to end on, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm running out of time. Write this down. The 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule. Write this down. Please get this. Please get this. This is all about, and this ties into, evaluating the content for effectiveness, because this is going to be a result in discovering what you're good at and what's working. But when you're first getting started, the 80-20 rule is a good foundation to start. 80% on, of your time, effort, energy, and money on things that you're good at, things that you are able to do now, like right out the gate. Things that you love, that passion we talked about last week, those strengths that we talked about last week. 80%, going all in hard on what you're good at, your strengths. 20% on, improving what you're not so good at. Understand, we're not just going to neglect all completely together things that we're not good at. Improvement, self-improvement, development, personal development. This is a trillion-dollar industry in the US. Trying to become better, trying to look better, trying to feel better, right? Trying to lose weight, trying to look more beautiful. This is a trillion-dollar industry, ladies and gentlemen. So we're not going to neglect improvement. But understand, when you're building your personal brand, if you're focusing too much on trying to get better on things that you're not good at, you are going to lose. I'm say that again. I need y'all to catch this. I got just a couple more minutes. If you're focusing too much of your time, energy, effort, and money on things that you're not good at, you're going to lose. This is what I want y'all to do. I kind of gave it as a not required homework assignment last week. I want y'all to do this week. Do something that you do not like to do. Within this next week, do something that you don't like to do. Straight up. Like, I don't like doing this. I'm going to do it for this activity. Document it. Write down how that worked out for you, how that went, how you felt, how it worked out. And then do something that you love to do. Intentionally. I'm going to do this. I love doing it. It feels good. I like it. This is one of my passions. This is one of my strengths. Document it. How did that go for you? How did that work out for you? Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, preferably Snapchat. Hit me up on Snapchat. I want y'all to add me on Snapchat, ELITEPIE. Hit me up on Snapchat and tell me how that worked for you this week. Do something you don't like to do or you're not so good at and document it. See how that went for you. Do something that you're good at, that you love to do. Document it. See how that went for you, how it made you feel. And hit me up on Snapchat and let me know. ELITEPIE. All right. Evaluate the content for effectiveness. 80-20 rule. Go all in on your strengths, ladies and gentlemen. All in on your strengths. 80%, but save 20% for you to be able to improve. If you're not so good on Facebook, you're going to spend 20% on finding out how to use Facebook to market or how to use Facebook to build your brand. But that's not really your passion. That's not really your strength. So you're not going to, shut off all other networks and you're going to go all in on Facebook. If you like Periscope, this could be the platform that you actually start, using to tell your story. Now, like tonight, like you can start a broadcast tonight. You already have a Periscope account. Start telling your story. Hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so. This is where, this is what I love. This is what I want to talk about. And in the next few weeks, you can look forward to more content from me. I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. That's really how it starts. That's really how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it starts just in your home office, right here, talking to just a few people. Then before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, you have the attention of thousands, hundreds of thousands, before you even knew it. I was watching the video before the broadcast, and I got to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to share this with y'all. I was watching the video about Eric Thomas, and he did a video with that's why I'm on connect with the young people. That's a good strategy. I'm telling you, Snapchat is where you want to be too if you want to connect with the young people. That's why we're here, because it's an emerging platform. And understand, it's not just young people. I guarantee y'all it's not just young people. It's older people on Snapchat too. The demographics are too high. There's no way it's just young people. I'm on there. Gary Vaynerchuk is on there. And he's 40, I'm 35. Come on, y'all. It's not just young people. I promise you it's not just young people. All right, so Eric Thomas was saying he did an interview with Steve Harvey on the Steve Harvey show. Steve Harvey asked him, does he have a book? And he was glad that he was able to tell him, yes, I have a book. And it's like my recent book, not, Secrets to Success that was published like 6 years ago. It was a up-to-date book with a workbook that goes with it. Like he had, a good response, so to speak, right? But understand, like when they first blew up, they wasn't ready, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be careful what we ask God for, because if it comes and we're not ready for it, it's going to blow us out the water. All right. And this is his story, Eric Thomas, when he blew up, they wasn't ready for it. They didn't have a website. They didn't have, when Secrets to Success blew up, they did not expect it to go so big so fast. But if my mentor says, be prepared, always be prepared, so you never have, always be ready so you don't have to get ready. Always be prepared so you don't have to get prepared. Right now we're in a preparation phase. Step, week 2, lost my connection on the webinar. That's all right. That's all right. You'll have the replay. Those of you who are registered for the webinar, you'll always get the replay in your email 1 hour after the webinar. All right. So that's huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is just week 2. We're just getting started. Discovered our passion was part 1, right? And telling your story is part 2. We ain't even really got into how to use the platforms. We ain't even really got into, different strategies and all, all that. I got a lot of good content for y'all. I got a lot of good information for y'all. I guarantee it's going to be worth your time. Make sure you register. So let me knock out this last offer one more time. I want everybody to be able to boom, load, wait, select offer. Part 3. If you are on the webinar, you can now register for part 3. Lock your spot for the next webinar. All early registrations will receive a free gift from me. Register now. So how do you register? Go to workwiththepierres.com. WorkWithThePierres.com. That's a long website. I got to do something about that. WorkWithThePierres.com. You register for the webinar. It's going to register you for the replay of this webinar because it's live. All right. But you can select the option at the bottom that says register for me, automatically register me for all webinars in this series. That way, as soon as this is over and I go ahead and I have to manually auto register you for all the next webinar, you'll get that automatic registration for part 3. All right. Everybody who registers tonight will receive a free gift from me. And what is that free gift? It's going to be some resources for you to get some free, royalty-free photos. Those pretty photos that I share on Facebook and I share on Instagram with the words over it, or like my picture standing over here like this. Like, you know what I mean? Those are free videos that I'm getting from resources that are royalty-free that I can use for sharing. I'm gonna give y'all some resources if you register for the next webinar tonight. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. WorkWithThePierres.com. If you're on Periscope, register for the next webinar. Make sure you watch the replay of the actual webinar so you can get the article that I kind of shared with you. But you need that article. That article is going to give you some tools that you can use this week leading up to next week's webinar. All right, you're a blessing. Hey, I thank you. Hey, real quick, y'all, my passion, and that's what I talked about last week. Y'all gotta listen to the replay of last week's call. My passion is truly to be a blessing and to be an inspiration to people. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose for being here. So I really need your support to help get the word out about these webinars, to get the word out about my website, favoredinternational.com. That's FAVOREDINTL. I need your help. I need your support because I can't reach the world by myself. I really need your help, and I need your support to help spread the word, share on social media, tag a friend, so we can come together collectively and learn how to do this, because the more I teach, the more I learn. It's crazy. I learned that years ago when I was a teacher, in the Army. I'm still in the Army. I'm just not a teacher anymore. But the more I teach, the more I actually learn. It's kind of crazy how that works. When you prepare a lesson and when you train other people to do something, it really helps you, dig really deep into what you're doing, and then it helps you execute even better on a more effective level than you were before. That's just my personal testimony, my personal experience. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, my phone is dying. I'm already over 30 minutes, so I do apologize for going over time, but I knew we had a lot of content to go over today. I was really only trying to keep it to 30 minutes because of Facebook, but Facebook went out around 20 something, and that's okay. That's a new platform. It's kind of expected. But as I told y'all last week, some of these webinars will go about 45 to 50 minutes based on the content that was going to be discussed that week. So I appreciate y'all. I really do. Connect with me on favoredinternational.com. You can actually subscribe to my to my Elite Inspires newsletter, so you won't miss any events that I'm doing, or I'm going to be participating in, or I'm going to be attending, whatever it is, right? You'll be able to get access to my calendar. You'll be able to look at the events. You'll be able to look at whatever activities I got going on, online, offline, stuff like that. Stay inspired. To stay inspired, you have to stay connected. That's my motto. To stay inspired. Elite Inspires is like, the new brand I'm doing. And to stay inspired, you have to stay connected. All right. So I want y'all to stay connected with me. I definitely look forward to each and every one of you climbing to the top and building your personal brand. I'm excited about this movement, and stay connected with me. I look forward to working with y'all. Register for the next webinar next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. WorkWithThePierres.com, favoredinternational.com. You can connect with me on both platforms. All right, y'all. That's my time. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next week.